If someone treated their pet or just an animal in general like this, if they allowed that animal to be in pain, they would be charged with abuse and neglect. Why is it that our medical profession allows people like myself to continue to experience high levels of pain? Hey, welcome. My name is Alonda and I am the Recovering Hunbot. And I know I'm very low energy. It's because this pain that I live with is extreme, and all I can do really is breathe. That's just about it, because it is excruciating. So what I'm going to do is, yesterday I went to my pain management doctor again, and I'm going to read to you what I read to her. And I'm also going to chronicle for you what I've gone through for the past 6 years, attempting to alleviate this pain. Right behind me, that's Salsa. Chalupa is over here. You may see Chalupa, he may pop in, I don't know. She may jump down, I don't know. But those are my sweet pups. All right. And I have all the notes here. So this is how I've been feeling for about the past week. I feel nauseated from the pain. I can't control the tears streaming down my face during my work day. I can't focus. It's very difficult to do tasks that I know how to do, but it's recalling like the processes of how to do that. And I was struggling earlier this week of creating something in Storyline. Yesterday, I drove off from Starbucks because it was too much for me to figure out, because I couldn't read the little, whatever the heck you call it, where you insert your card. I couldn't process and think about what I needed to do because it was overwhelming, because the pain is so encompassing. I can't cook anymore. I was cooking and I would do things in small steps. Like I would cut up one vegetable and take a break. Then I might cut up something else, take a break. Then I might have to saute something, just everything throughout the day in little incremental steps. I can no longer do that. And I used to actually be able to stand up and make the entire recipe, but when I try to do that now, I become incapacitated. The other day, my husband noticed how my mood went down rapidly, and I can no longer mask and have conversations with him because all I can really do is just breathe. That's about it, because it's really too much for anyone to handle. My job performance is suffering. I'm scared I'll lose my job. I have had no pain medication the entire year. Even when I have asked for something to alleviate the pain, I've received, like, they don't want to give you an opioid. You know, anything like Tylenol or anything like that, that's not going to work. I mean, everything that I've tried doesn't work. I'm getting maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep because I can't fall asleep because of the pain. I cannot get comfortable. It doesn't matter what position I'm in. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. There's never a break from this pain, ever. I wake up because of the pain. I'm moody and irritable. I don't have any patience. I screamed at the top of my lungs at my dear sweet Chalupa yesterday because of my lack of patience, and it's not his fault, and I felt so bad, but I am just like going out of my mind. All I do is suffer. Even after seeking medical help, I suffer every single day. My quality of life has deteriorated since I started even going to the pain management doctor, and this has been going on for 6 years. I like to be able to walk Chalupa and Tamale early in the morning, but it's like right now, that just feels impossible. The doctor yesterday did prescribe something for me, but the pharmacy doesn't have it. It's not going to be there until tomorrow. I also went to get some lab work done, but the order that I had, it was for a male panel, not a female panel. And so again, I just have to suffer. Some little topical patches I was given, yeah, that doesn't do anything. I was given some stuff for headaches. I don't remember what it is. Sometime I'll look it up and I'll tell you what it is, but I just don't remember right now. And I don't have the energy to go and find what it is, but there's some that I can take every day and it's supposed to also help with all over body pain. It's not. It's not. I've been taking it for several days and nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm hoping whatever, I think it's called Belbuca or something like that. I'm hoping that will help, but I don't know because they don't have it. And there were 2 other medications that are to help me with weight loss because having the pain that I have, it's very hard to move because I hurt so much and I eat healthy. I don't like snack all the time or anything like that, but you get a certain age and you know, you have hormone issues and then I've got pain issues. There's, you know, there's issues. What can I say? There's issues. And so it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Okay, I'm gonna like let you now know. Now I've given you like recent, let's go back in time and let me cover that for you. So if you've wondered why I'm not on camera, it's because I am miserable and I haven't been able to do the deep dives and recorded videos because I don't have the energy or the wherewithal to do that because it requires me being in front of my laptop for an extended period of time, and I already work from home designing training. I'm an instructional designer, so I design training, I maintain a knowledge base, and I just can't do more. And right now I don't have a script, so that whole script writing thing, I can't do all that. All right, so I'm going to chronicle for you what I've gone through since this pain came about, and I have notes in my phone. So let me start at the beginning, which requires me to go back in time, and I apologize for being low energy, but it's really because I hurt so much and so miserable. And if you hear some whining, Chalupa's being kind of a whiny baby, so I apologize for that. In 2016, I had breast cancer, and I was laid off when I went back to work. We moved, and in 2017, I joined Beachbody, which I have told my story about being a Beachbody coach. I began to feel pain in my neck, which increased over time. I was constantly on social media, you know, looking down, whether I'm on my phone, I was on my laptop. I was also doing contract work as an instructional designer, so I was on the computer as well. At that time, I did Beachbody workouts, plus I was taking dance classes. I walked the dogs, but I didn't go all that far because the area of town that we lived in, there was some sketchiness going on. We moved, I believe it was in 2018 is when we moved again. And where we lived at that time, my desk was in a sunroom, and that sunroom slanted down. And so, you know, gravity pulled my body forward, and that's not good. I continued doing Beachbody workouts. I had to drop the dance classes because I wasn't working full time. We were relying mostly on my husband. I was still doing some contract work. I walked the dogs in the neighborhood at that time, but I was still in pain. And I believe at that time is the first time I went to go see a doctor, and the doctor was telling me that I needed to lose weight. I couldn't afford to go to physical therapy like what he wanted me to go to because I wasn't working full time and we just didn't have the money. So I was looking for alternatives of what can I do? How can I manage this? So I was looking things up, trying to figure it out on my own and hoping that I could. In 2019, we had to move again because where we lived, they sold that little building. It was a townhouse. The pain increased. And I gained weight. I tried acupuncture, massage. I was listening to like healing music, binaural beats. I was doing meditation and visualizing, being whole and all of that. Tried yoga. I got a posture corrector things. I thought maybe all of this was becoming from poor posture. I got something to stretch my neck. I got some kind of pillow thing for my neck. And in 2019, I started a full-time job. So then I couldn't exactly be like, hey, smell you later, gotta go to physical therapy. Because I had just started, so I didn't want to, put a bad taste in anyone's mouth or anything. I got a new bra because the person who was giving me massages said, well, you're wearing a sports bra, so maybe if you try this, it'll help. And it did for a little bit. I mean, like a tiny little bit, but then the pain came back. I also found some exercises. I want to say the channel is Dan and Bob. And so I started doing the exercises they were recommending, which helped a little bit, but then stopped working and Chalupa is whining. I also saw a chiropractor. In 2020, we had to move again. I mean, this was like the ongoing saga because they sold that building that we moved in. And the area of town where we moved to, there really wasn't much of a sidewalk and it was more sketchy than what we had lived in. And that October, I had a DVT, deep vein thrombosis, and I also had a blood clot that went to my lungs, and I'm very lucky to be here. So I continued to gain weight. My neck and back were in constant pain. The only relief I had was when I was in the hospital. Isn't that sad? While I was in the hospital, my husband received a call and he was asked if he could take custody of his youngest teenage son, and he told me about this. And we had just moved and we were also living in the inner city of Houston, so the answer to that was no, we had nowhere for anyone other than ourselves. But I started thinking about this. I was like, well, we could take custody of both of them, but it would require us to move to the suburbs and also to purchase a home. And at that time, homes were like really hard to come by in terms of like that were on the market, but there were new construction homes. So I thought, well, let me look at floor plans and let me look at different builders and where they're located. Let me see what I can find, because I kind of had in my head what we would need. So I found something. I continued to do the exercises from Bob and Brad. We put money down for the house. I got a new mattress because I thought, well, maybe this mattress, because I'd had it for probably about 10 years, like maybe that would help. Didn't. I started using BioFreeze and Salonpas. I may have started using that before then, I don't remember, but I go through a lot of Salonpas and BioFreeze. I mean, tons and tons and tons. In 2021, that summer, I think it was July, we moved into the house. I was still in constant pain and the kids moved in on August 1st. I was living with a lot of stress because this younger child, he has conduct disorder, which if you don't know what that is, when you turn 18, then you are classified as having antisocial personality disorder, and he really enjoys annoying people. And having panic attacks all the time wasn't good for me. It was really impacting me a lot. So I no longer live in the house that we worked so hard to get for a new environment for both of his children. I'm actually in an apartment, just me and the dogs, so that I can work on taking care of myself, which is a challenge. So not only do we have all the expenses of the house, we have the expenses of the apartment as well, and it's not easy because it's not like we, make buku bucks. I'll just put that out there. I was in constant pain. I was walking the dogs around the neighborhood, and I really, really enjoyed that at that time because it was really cool to do that. And I would pick the times that I would do it because there wasn't a lot of shade because little bitty tiny trees and everything. In the fall of 2022, I attended 6 weeks of physical therapy, bought more equipment. I was buying different things throughout all this time period The primary care physician I saw recommended I see a physicist. I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly. Anyway, it's somebody who does pain, and so she was going to do, I think, trigger point injections, but based on the results of my MRI, she thought that I needed to go see someone, a different pain type doctor. And if I had done injections with her, the insurance, she would have done it through insurance one time, but the rest of it would have been out of pocket, and that was going to be like $200 a pop, so that wasn't going to be much fun. The MRI results showed that I have bulging discs C3 through C5, I believe. I kind of get it mixed up because I never can flip and remember because I can't remember much of anything right now. Chalupa is still whining. I'm not sure what he wants. Anywho, I also have arthritis in my back and a pinched nerve. So in 2023, so we're now to this year, I went to go see the new doctor. I was going to have what's called radio frequency ablation, but to have that, you have to have these nerve blocks first, which I had, and it seemed to have given me a little bit of relief. So I did have the radio frequency ablation. It didn't do anything. Then she recommended I have cervical epidural steroid injection. I did, and I took off a week of work to kind of like heal. It did absolutely nothing. And so then the next thing I had was the trigger point injections from a different doctor because she wasn't available. And then I let him know that I'm feeling no relief from that. So I got a steroid pack, no pain pills. The entire time when I'm going to this pain doctor, because we're now at June, July, I haven't had any pain pills the entire year. I mean, I got some pain stuff from my primary care physician, but it did nothing. I might as well lick chalk dust. It did absolutely nothing, and that's frustrating. So then I thought on my own, let me contact an orthopedic surgeon and see what that person says. And I went, and I'm not a candidate for surgery, but he recommended I see a rheumatologist. Filled out all that paperwork. Haven't heard from them, but I do know they don't have openings until October. I got some kind of seat cushion thing. I don't remember when, but I have it, which I'll be showing you guys all of that sort of stuff eventually. I'm doing remote physical therapy with motion trackers that I get through my work. After all the pain stuff that I've had done, I let the doctor know that all those injections, nothing is working. So she's seeking to have approval for Botox injections and then also approval for spinal stimulation. I've had the psych evaluation because you have to have that, and you also need to have lab work. I went this morning, which is Thursday, the day after I saw her. I saw her yesterday, which was Wednesday. And on the slip that I had for my lab work that I presented, it was for a male panel and not a female, and I'm a female, so I couldn't have the lab work done. So that's fun. So I had to call the doctor's office and be like, yo, you didn't fill this out correctly. I couldn't have it done. Way to go, team. And also had to let her know that, well, whoever answered the phone, the prescription that she had prescribed for me, which is, it's not an opioid because she doesn't want to prescribe an opioid, but my pharmacy doesn't have that and they won't have it until Friday, so I just continue to suffer. This entire time of going to this pain doctor, I've done nothing but suffered continuously, each and every time. Every time I'm letting the doctor know I'm dealing with massive amounts of pain. I got some samples of the ZT Lido patches, lidocaine. I didn't really feel anything from that. Plus, those patches aren't covered even if I felt something, and they're like astronomical. I was prescribed Ubrevely for migraines because along the occipital, the back of my head, it starts hurting really, really bad. That's not covered somehow. When I went to go pick it up, it cost $0. I don't know how that happened, but I took it. I also was prescribed Qulipta, which is for migraines, and I take that every day. Belbuca, I can't remember how to pronounce it or how to spell it. That is for chronic pain. That's the one that's like an opioid, but it's not. That's the one that won't be ready until tomorrow, which is Friday, so I just continue to suffer. I was also prescribed Graylese, which is a nerve pain medication. I was given 2 weeks samples, but I can't take that with the other medication because she needs to know if I can tolerate the first medication before I can add on the other medication, because if I had side effects, then we wouldn't know which medication would be causing the side effects. So that's where I'm at right now, is trying to get a pain medication. And I'm waiting for somebody at the doctor's office to call me back so that they can do something like send in this pain medication to another pharmacy that I know delivers, that maybe I could get it today. Maybe I'll just have to wait until tomorrow. I don't know. But all I do know is that through all of this, I just suffer every day, all day. And there's never a moment of relief. I have absolutely no patience. It's hard for me to do very basic things that should be simple for most people. But for me, it's just beyond me. It's beyond me to do basic housework. It's very hard to take out the dogs. Forget about trying to put on makeup, do my hair to look presentable. Forget about trying to do anything other than wear any kind of lounge clothes. Forget about going anywhere and doing anything, because I simply feel like crap 24/7, 365. And it feels like there's no end in sight. And here I live in the US. And this is what our medical system is like. It takes forever to get anything done, and doctors are terrified, at least that's what my perception is, to prescribe an opioid, even if that could help you. And I really think that is something that could help me, because nothing is working. And I said to the doctor yesterday, what is it going to take? Do I have to go to the 5th ward and find a drug dealer, which I don't even know how to find, to get some kind of drug that would help me? It's like, it's that, or like, do I have to start, drinking a 5th of vodka a day and pass out? It's beyond frustrating. So that's where I'm at with living with chronic pain. I'm looking for answers. I'm trying to do everything I possibly can. And I keep looking for answers. And I just turned 59. This is not something, I don't want to live feeling like this all the time. I want to get better. But I only can get better if somebody actually addresses this. If things didn't take so long to get approved by the insurance company. But it does. They make you go through so many hoops now. Meanwhile, myself and so many other people suffer all day, every day. If you like, do the YouTube things, the subscribe, comments, like, all that, whatever. Anyway, thanks for listening. And if you suffer from chronic pain, I'm so sorry. Because that's the thing. You can't see it. It's that thing people have. And I feel like people don't believe you. Because it's going on inside of your body. It's my neck, my upper back, my mid back. It will radiate to my jaw, go up to the top of my head. And it is dreadful.